I'm sorry.
Okay, we're live.
Hmm.
Well, okay, this is my fault that we're late this morning because Ramen and I got discussing old school D&D versus new school D&D.
Hmm.
So when that happens, with my absolute distaste for what Wizards of the Coast has done to Dungeons and Dragons, I lost track of the time because I will get quite ranty on what they've done. And I've actually had some people block me from their channels
For what?
because they absolutely loved all this new stuff, especially the new space armadas in D&D, and I'm like,
I
that's
saw
not
somebody playing it, but it wasn't me.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
Dungeons and Dragons.
not
They
planets and
don't
space
have
pirates.
spaceships.
Well, I saw some friends of mine playing it. I was like, if they started out in the tavern, ended up in space. Not
Uh,
my thing, but hey, they enjoy it, so.
yeah, it's Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh
It's
God,
it's Earth. It is land and ocean based, not outer space.
that's right. Just
It's
wait for Saturday.
magic. It's not technology.
Pathfinder for the win.
Okay. So anyway, Ramen, you have been dealing with the migraine here for the past few days. Please tell me you're okay now, or you're at
I
least better.
I got it under control. I'm not even high. I got it under control. It's a lot of pills, a lot of naps, a lot of going around with no glasses, soft music, people talking to me quietly at night. It's a thing. But I am better. Mostly. Thank you to everyone that helped me and was so kind to me this last week. Yay.
I couldn't help you. All I could do is sit here and go,
But you were
please,
really
God,
nice.
I hope that she's feeling better.
I
Uh,
yeah, I get them a lot, but the really bad ones I get a couple times a year, so like 3, 4 times a year. So whatever. What have we got today? What'd you bring me?
okay, let's see what we got today. Well, this is a catch-up stream, and we're going back in time here on. I
Mm-mm.
mean, we're really going back, but I posted a video or a link to a video
Okay.
uh,
Oh,
the other
oh,
day,
oh! I saw that. I can so relate to
and
that shit.
yes, you saw it, but Dar saw it and he couldn't understand it. So he just didn't understand. So
Poor
I've
Dar.
got it here again. I've got the original video that wasn't slowed down. Okay,
I saw it
this
too.
is a
It's beautiful.
this is a TikTok.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Oh
all
God.
right. Now then, that's it. It's a 5 second video.
Yeah.
Okay,
She bent over and I knew.
I'll tell you what made this video so much fun for me. All right, here she comes around the corner. Somebody says something right there.
Yeah, that expression.
That not only the expression, but I mean, she went short arm. She went T
Yeah,
Rex with that
yeah.
arm.
That
You know,
happens sometimes.
it's like that expression and the sound she made.
Yep.
Okay, that to me, I mean, I have put that on loop and just played it over and over and over again, and just, I mean,
uh,
all I can do is chuckle the whole time.
with me, it's puppies. With you, it's this lady. I've done that. Okay, I really, really
That
relate to
that
that.
sound, that sound
I've
is
made that sound. See, here's the thing. Okay, I have PTSD, so people think it's funny to jump out at me or just make a stupid noise when they're behind me. Not fun, but this is funny. It's okay when it happens to somebody else. That poor lady. And then
Now,
she
for
bent over,
I'm sorry,
and then she bent over, and I knew she'd peed. That
and
poor
her
woman.
response in a follow-up video, yes, I did pee myself a
I
little.
saw it. Yes, we could see it as it happened live. Yeah, yeah. You have a couple of kids, that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, a lot of comments on the video was, as a mom, I know this position.
Hmm. We've all been there, ladies.
But I mean,
Every time I hear that raspy laugh, I keep going back to it.
so yes, I mean, how can this not be found funny?
It's adorable. That poor woman.
Uh, and I mean, that is a new laugh track.
Oh,
That
look
is
at
a new laugh
you.
track for me because it is just. If I'm ever feeling a little bit sad, that's the video I'm going to watch because it's going to make me laugh. I've downloaded that video. That lady has done the world. That that woman has done the world so much good, and I'm glad she's got a sense of humor over it because that is just so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, now then, ah, the fun. The I led off with the funny.
Oh
I led
no.
off with the funny.
I know where this is going.
Now now something that angered me, and I don't think very many people got or even paid attention to this. All right, but I saw this live, and then I was hoping somebody somewhere I'd be able to find this video because I'm and yes, this is the house chaplain.
Dear God, it seems this evening we may be at last standing at the threshold of a new Congress.
I got 10 seconds into this video. She got 10 words out of her mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and I've already got to stop the video.
Wow. Doesn't take much for you these days, does it? Come on.
All right, as the house chaplain, their job, his job, her job, their job, is to ask for the Lord's blessings and guidance upon our leaders, upon our representatives. Their job is not to get political one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Is that pretty much agreeable? You know,
Mm-hmm.
the house chaplain here should be completely unbiased, strictly
Unbiased.
there
Yes, that's the word
for
I was looking for.
asking for spiritual guidance as to what's on by our leadership. It's a ceremonial position. Honestly, if they were to come up with the ruling that the to eliminate the house chaplain, I would not have a problem with it. All right,
Okay.
because at this point, we know that I'm actually surprised there hasn't been an argument to bring in
Oh,
a to appoint a Muslim or a Rastafarian or any one of these other anything except a Christian and the wide umbrella Christianity judo Christian umbrella, Judeo Christian
Hmm.
umbrella religion. So,
Dear God, it seems this evening we may be at last standing at the threshold of a new Congress.
Really?
I'm not done yet.
you see that little
I'm not
smirk
done
on
yet.
her face?
Oh, like I'm in
Oh, I'm
charge now.
not
It's my
done.
turn to talk.
I'm not done yet. I am
Hmm.
getting ready to come out and unload on all of y'all. Morning,
This
Bubba.
bitch.
Crack Rock Calhoun.
Gee, I wonder who that is.
Yeah, I wonder who that could possibly be. Hey, Roots.
Hey, Roots. Bubba Hotep. Hey,
Should
Roots.
we, with your blessing, find our way through the doorway this night, cause us to consider carefully what we have learned on the way. Turning to you each day, we asked for your help in our deliberations, and you answered us. But your answer was
Really?
to allow us to suffer the anxiety, uncertainty, and aggravation that follows when we choose to allow healthy debate to devolve into contentious and unproductive argument.
Hmm.
Are you certain about that?
That's what she's saying. I'm sure in her head it sounds good.
I
This
want
is
G.
why women should not be allowed to speak in public. I'm sorry. I shut up now.
I'm. Oh, that's Yeti.
Anywhere.
More. And by the way, Ro, good morning. I'm sorry I missed you.
Hey, Gaddy. I just don't see him here. Why don't I see him? I see
But
Rogue and Baba. Oh, that's weird.
do you think that possibly this house chaplain has feels that she has a dog in that hunt? That she's got a particular side she's pulling for?
I think she's pulling for whoever they're paying her to pull for, dude. I'm not big on politics, but she does sound just a tiny bit biased.
Yep.
Just a
And
teensy
yet, in
bit.
your mercy, you transformed this foray into discord into an opportunity to learn to find common ground with unlikely partners. Would that this be a habit we continue. Remind us that while the spirit of dispute can be traced to our government's earliest days, we have served this country best when we sought to reconcile our differences with compassion, kindness,
Okay, baby.
humility,
Hold on.
gentleness, and patience. May we be more willing to wield these fruits of your spirit in our future discourse with one another. We pray your continued mercy on us. May your anger with us last but a moment.
May your anger last with us but a moment. So she is determined that the good Lord is angry with us right now.
And why would that be? Because somebody expressed an opinion and didn't agree with everybody else?
And because several somebodies expressed an opinion
I
that didn't go
love.
down with other people.
Shh, nobody's talking to mommy. I'm going to call. I really love when people claim that God is like their personal buddy and they're God's personal mouthpiece and trust them because they're on the inside track with the Lord. I love that shit so much. But that's just me.
Rogue, what this was the house chaplain's opening prayer for during the uh, public sausage making for the voting of the Speaker of the House. And I made my position very clear. Uh, I did not appreciate. I was not in favor of a lot of the stuff that happened. I felt a lot of that could have been handled in the background and should have been handled in the background, and that Kevin McCarthy was absolutely wrong in the way that he went about this. And while I fully supported the 20, I really wish it was somebody besides Matt Gates and Bo Bear that were the face of that 20, because they're neither one of them have got the gravitas, shall we say, to pull it off without making it a spectacle. So
and your favor a lifetime. And for all that we endure this night, allow joy to come in the morning. In the hope found in your name we pray. Amen.
she sort of eased up there at the end. But honestly, I hope she is replaced. I hope McCarthy replaces her, appoints a new House chaplain, because the House chaplain serves at the behest of the Speaker of the House. That's not a position that's voted upon by the House in its entirety. So I just wanted to throw my own, that was just, when I saw that the first time, I was like, what? So I had to go back and find the video and listen to it several more times to make certain that that I heard everything that woman had to say, that I thought she had to say. So anyway, let's see here. But as we all know, we do finally have McCarthy in as Speaker of the House. That is along its way, going good. They've had several votes, and that's going to be something I'll be looking at for tomorrow's stream, how the new House is going. So, but I am jumping up on one of my well worn, well worn soapboxes today. Eric Adams, Mayor of New York. We're all familiar with this gentleman. He he got a little upset, just a little angry, when all of a sudden a bunch of illegals showed up on their doorstep. Illegals that wanted to go to New York.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I continue, please. I'm sorry.
But Mayor Adams got a little upset when a bunch of illegals who wanted to go to New York were aided. They wanted to go to New York so badly, they signed paperwork saying they wanted to go to New York.
So let them go to. They're dreamers. Let them go to New York. Dream there.
So the governors of Texas and
Hmm.
Florida
Hmm.
loaded up some busloads of illegal aliens
Yay!
and shipped them up to New York.
How kind.
In New York, being what they, that they have claimed to be a sanctuary
Sanctuary
city,
City.
you know, and that they would welcome these illegals with open arms.
Yes,
Well, Eric
absolutely.
Adams is realizing that the New Yorkers, they sort of let their mouths override their asses, as my dad used to say.
No.
And now he is asking for $1 billion from the
Oh,
federal government
he might get it, and none of it will go to these lovely dreamers.
to aid New York in housing and feeding and otherwise taking care of these illegals.
Can't they live on their dreams?
The same, oh yes, the same
Oh,
illegals
hell.
that he said should be welcome into Texas and Florida and New Mexico and Arizona and Mississippi and Louisiana, everybody else along the southern border. Where we have an influx of a couple 100,000 a month coming across the border. Cities like El Paso should be able to welcome them in and support them. He gets a few busloads of illegals shipped up there, a couple hundred, and all of a sudden he's asking for $1 billion because he can't handle it. Well, let's see what the paid liar has got to say here.
Thank you, Corinne. New York Mayor Adams, who you quoted earlier, is requesting $1 billion from the federal government to help deal with the migration issue in the city. New York has reportedly only been approved for $8 million.
Now, I don't know how well y'all can hear what this guy's saying because, I mean, the volume absolutely sucks. But they've already been approved for $8 million. But that's just not enough.
Does the Biden administration have plans to increase funding for New York and other cities, especially in conjunction with this new parole program?
So,
And this is because of the new parole program that Joe Biden has come out with.
as the Department of Homeland Security announced yesterday, we are indeed increasing funding available to border cities and those cities.
To border cities. Is New York a border city?
Last I heard, no.
I mean,
It
even
borders the Hudson
physically.
River, but hey.
I mean, and it's not even New York City isn't even close enough to be considered a border city to the northern border.
Because we're under Canada.
So,
Anyway,
but I mean, they're not anywhere near the northern border though.
no.
So it's kind of hard to say New York City is a border city, but they're going to stretch that definition to include New York.
Of course they are.
So why call it why call them border aid for border cities if you're not going to restrict the aid only to those border cities?
Look at you trying to use logic and shit on these people. That's so cute.
I know.
Ah.
I know. It's like trying to use logic on my wife sometimes. Oh, I
Hey,
didn't say
hey,
that out
hey.
loud.
Yeah,
Anyway,
now don't start saying what you're thinking.
let's let KJP here finish her statement.
Cities receiving an influx of migrants, in addition to strengthening ongoing coordination and collaboration across all levels of government. DHS is also expanding outreach efforts with cities to provide coordination of resources and technical assistance. We have been indeed facilitating coordination between the state and local. I think you've heard us say this before, state and local officials and also and the other federal agencies. But for any specific on that funding to New York City, I would refer you to DHS. But as I just stated, the Department of Homeland Security did announce additional funding. And so we are going to make those border cities definitely a priority as they are dealing with increased migration.
Something that Mr. Kirby said. He said that the people from these four countries are escaping intolerable circumstances. I looked at the most recent month of data for people who cross the border and how they're handled. And it seems that under this new program, and please correct me if the data is outdated, it seems like you might have a better chance crossing the border and being allowed to stay than applying for this program because there are only 30,000 slots per month.
Ah, The same old routine, you know. Yeah, we're going to come up with the program, but you're better off just ignoring it and coming across the border illegally because we don't enforce our laws. We don't enforce our immigration laws. We don't want to enforce them as President Joe Biden has determined, same as Obama did, that they can pick and choose which laws they want to enforce. They get to pick and choose because, well, I say so. I'm the president. And I'm going to determine which laws are actually important enough to be enforced.
Look, I will go back to what I have said and what the president has said. I think very passionately yesterday and very precisely, which is that we are doing everything that we can to secure the border.
Can you believe she actually said that with a straight face? Can
There is
anybody
literally
believe she actually
nothing.
said that with a straight face?
There's literally nothing you could tell me about our current government that I would not believe,
By the
except
way,
that
good
it's
morning,
actually
Amy. I'm
accomplishing
glad to
something.
see you. You don't listen to this while washing dishes? Oh, that's when I'm always that's my background music. Somebody's stream while I'm washing dishes or cleaning the house. I'm turning into I hate to say this, but I'm turning into such the house husband.
I think that's so fucking cute
What's that?
that you're a house husband and your wife comes home to a cooked dinner. I just think that's fucking wonderful.
Yep. Uh, la- for reasons that I'm not going to go into, uh, I didn't. I didn't have my usual time to prepare dinner, and we didn't have any meat thawed. So the
Ooh.
wife, looked at me. She goes, "Well, what are you making for us to eat tonight? I'm getting hungry."
Wow. I love that though. I think this is
And
some good
I
shit.
just looked at her and said, "Okay,
Pizza.
no, 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 no. I
That's
have
right. You
some.
guys are keto.
Well, we're trying. We
That's better than most. You
anyway.
know.
So I'm sitting there going, okay, I know what I'm going to do,
Uh
and I'm glad
huh.
you said that. Okay, because the
I'm
wife's a lot
helping.
more on this keto, a lot more strict on the keto than I am.
She's got an amazing cook. So
So I'm sitting there, and it's like, well, I got these very nice, expensive hot dogs in the refrigerator.
ooh, I've probably never heard of them either.
I couldn't tell you the brand name of them either right now, but natural casing,
Oh yeah, that's the best.
you know, uh, and they were about 8 inches long, 8, 9 inches long. They weren't quite foot longs, but
I'm
very
not
not
gonna
very
comment.
nice,
I'm not gonna say anything.
very nice hot dogs.
Oh god.
So I got out the Hawaiian the Hawaiian style crescent dough.
Oh, they make the dough for Hawaiian now.
Yes,
Oh my god.
and a crescent dough, crescent dough,
Oh my god.
and got out some bacon and some cheddar cheese and caramelized onions.
Oof.
Wrapped them up and baked them off with some French fries.
Mm.
So I encased these hot dogs, put bacon. Oh, and in mine, I put in the candied jalapenos.
Uh
In the
huh.
wife, I added mild pepper rings.
Uh huh.
So picture this. It looked like an oblong biscuit, crescent dough, but when you bit into it, there was a hot dog, cheddar cheese, bacon, and either candied jalapenos or pepper rings.
Yummy.
So that was dinner last night with some French fries. She looked at me. She goes, "This is delicious." I said, "I know it is." She goes, "But you know, you just blown my keto for the week." I
You
said, "I
could have
know I
picked the
did."
bread off. Just saying.
No, no, she likes that.
Me
That she
too.
likes that dough as much as I do. But anyway, getting back to the, I mean, I cannot believe this woman actually said this with a straight face that they are doing everything they can to secure the border.
Precisely, which is that, we are doing everything that we can to secure the border.
That is an absolute and total lie.
It really is.
If you want to secure that border, first thing you would do is continued with the border fence that was started
Hmm.
under Trump.
That's right.
The second thing you would do is you would have the Border Patrol returning everybody, every person would be sent back across the southern border. They would not be taken into a processing center. They would not be taken to see a judge. They would not be fed. They would not be given medical treatment. They would not be given a cell phone and told to go wherever they want to go and report back for uh, a hearing in 8 months to a year. The children would be sent. I don't care, from 5 days old to 105 years old. If you cross that border illegally, you'd been sent back across. There would be obstructions. There would be border patrol agents. And yes, there would be the military protecting our border. There would be constant flights over our border. And my personal choice for a plane to be across that border would be the A-10.
Why? I know nothing about planes.
You
Okay.
see people crossing that border, just unleash a couple rounds off that A-10. That'd send their asses scurrying back across that southern border.
Huh.
And this would be one time that I would actually believe in eminent domain, and 300 yards minimum, 300 yards along the border would be federal property.
Hmm.
At least 300 yards would be federal property, and there would be a double fence line.
Oh yeah.
All right,
That
and
sounds
that
good.
area between and betwixt the two would be patrolled constantly by armed border patrol agents.
Yay.
And what could not be patrolled either by vehicle or horseback would have aircraft overflying it. All right, so don't tell me that you're doing everything you can do. You've spent so much, this administration has spent so much money on
Sure.
helping other countries secure their border and absolutely refuses to spend money to secure our own.
Mhm.
This last omnibus bill specifically said that no money could be used to secure our border.
Gee, I wonder whose decision that was.
But you want to tell me that you're doing everything you can to secure a border? I don't believe you. I'm calling you. I will call anybody and everybody who says that a liar to their face. I'll tell them they're either lying or they're so damn ignorant of the facts they don't deserve to have an opinion. And yes, I did say that. In order to have an opinion, you must have some basic knowledge of the subject that you're speaking of. And if you're so ignorant of the facts of what's going on that you can say that your opinion is that the federal government at this point in time is doing everything they can to secure the border, then you're too damn ignorant to hold an opinion. or you're lying. One or the other. You're either a liar or you're ignorant. And either way, your opinion doesn't matter. There, I said it and I mean it. Hey, Neil. No, I don't think that would work, Neil. Because we actually do have too much in case law forbidding the use of booby traps on private property.
Attractive nuisance. There's how people, how the government hates people to like own and use guns, and you know.
You know, now I'm sorry, there would be instead of 87,000 more IRS agents, there'd be 87,000 more Border Patrol
Border.
agents.
Yeah,
I don't mind buying Border Patrol agents, paying them.
it's necessary.
We need them. And yes, we need them and we need more customs agents at the airports. And we need more Border Patrol agents at the northern border.
Hmm.
We should have a Coast Guard inside the Great Lakes.
Well, you didn't say trap snail, but we were all thinking it, so it's
Yeah, I know you didn't say traps, Nils, but
okay.
we, we know that would happen. We know that would happen because uh, there's some of these people are tired of their land being used like it
Compensate
has
them.
been.
You know. I mean,
You
if we
know,
can afford to send money to Ukraine, we can buy some land. Shit.
and look, now, I'm sorry. This is one time where I feel eminent domain should actually be used, and at least 300 yards that of the property along the border is federal land.
Oh, the coyotes will come in with bigger guns and they'll just shoot the crocodiles.
Well, Neil, that's true, but we've got too much case law for that does care. You'd have to overturn a whole lot of convictions. There was a guy here not too long ago. Neighborhood kids were jumping his fence
Oh,
to utilize his swimming pool and such.
yeah.
So he took a the bandsaw
Oh no.
and he put that along the fence so that when their fingers come across the fence onto his side,
Somebody
they
probably
hit
lost
all
a
them
finger.
little tines of the bandsaw.
Oh,
And he ended up, well, he is now a criminal. He is now
yeah.
a convict.
Honestly, that went a little too far. It's kids. I mean, if they're not breaking into the house and robbing them, I
And
mean,
when I
that's
say kids, oh, I'm talking teenagers.
teenagers. I know. I know. Little
I'm
kids
not.
aren't going
I'm
to try to
not
break in.
talking preteens and young kids.
But
These were older kids, climbing his fence, jumping into, and they were, I mean, they were actually causing damage to his pool. They weren't being good
yeah,
swimmers.
yeah,
They were causing damage, and he was getting tired of having. But anyway, so if you can't even do that to protect your property, anybody laying landmines would. But anyway, back to the liar in chief here.
and to deal with irregular migration. That is a priority for this administration since day one. We understand this is one step. We understand to actually fix what is happening, this broken immigration system that we have.
All right, let's get this straight. The legal immigration and stopping illegal immigration are two different issues. They're two totally they're not one issue.
yep.
And it's not two sides of the same coin issue. They're two separate issues. Protecting our borders from people illegally crossing them has absolutely nothing to do with immigration.
Thank you.
And what our laws are for people to legally immigrate into our country. One does not one does not have anything. One is not reliant upon the other.
Hmm.
Fixing the immigration system will not fix border security.
Our immigration system used to be fine. I don't know what the problem is. Just, do it
Our,
legally. What the fuck?
honestly, our immigration honestly, I think our immigration system should be tougher than what it is.
Yeah, it used to be tougher. It used to be tougher.
And I honestly believe, and again, this is my personal deal.
It used to be a
I
privilege
am
to come
getting
here.
so tired of having to have of either as a person who works with the public or as somebody going into a business having to have a translator program on my cell phone in order to do business. I am tired of having and the federal, and anybody who is a U.S. citizen, all right, our government should not be producing documentation in English or in any language other than English. If you want to be a U.S. citizen, you should be able to speak and understand English. And if you can't, it's that's your problem. You should be, you should be required to take your own steps to understand that.
At least, have a little effort, just be able to, even if you have to use sign language and broken English, at least fucking try, man. Jesus.
You know,
I'm.
oh, Neil, you're right. Those kids did, after that night, they stopped going over his fence to his pool. But that was,
I don't know. I'm kind of weird about it because I get having lived in a private home. I get it. I really do. But at the same time, I remember being a kid and stealing mangoes. The people weren't eating their fucking mangoes. It was just a little old. They weren't old, but they were a little couple living by themselves, and they had mango trees, and they couldn't eat all the mangoes. So we would go and swipe mangoes. It wasn't a big deal. We weren't breaking the fence or anything, or little things. I get it, but I don't know, man. I feel a little bad.
oh, I still got scars on my butt from getting hit with rock salt, stealing
Oh,
watermelons and pumpkins when I was a kid.
yeah.
All right, farmers loaded up their double lot shotguns with rock salt instead of BBs,
Well, it was
and
at least it wasn't BB.
and
I don't know.
God, that thing hurts.
I'm picturing it.
You get that salt, and salt and wounds.
Yeah. Put that on the counter, baby.
There is a reason why that was a part
Hmm.
of torture,
Yep.
rubbing salt into open wounds.
Yep.
That does not feel good. And when you get rock
Nope.
salt in your ass, and you go to take a shower, you know it.
Yep.
You know it.
But I mean, it wasn't you weren't losing a limb or anything or cutting anything off. I mean, yeah, it hurt. You got a scar, but I don't
But
know.
only my wife sees the scars, so that's okay.
Oh, so you ain't starting that OnlyFans anytime soon, huh?
Uh,
You're not putting those
I would
pics
have to
out.
be the one to pay people to see me do anything OnlyFans.
Oh, that's harsh.
Okay. Anyway, back to the liar here.
have
Oh, it's
seen
getting hot
for
in here.
decades now, is to actually get legislation done. And so, look, you know, what I have said and what many of us have said, like we are ready to work. We are ready to put forth plans as we have. And, you know, again, Republicans in Congress and
Mm-mm.
Republicans official across the country who have done political stunts are not.
Political stunts. Oh, you mean like sending people that are overwhelming their cities, overwhelming their states to states that and cities that say, "We welcome you. We welcome illegals. We're a sanctuary city. We want you here." Fine. Anybody want to go there? You do? Great. Here's the bus. Go. Oh, the vice president is saying that we should be allowing all these illegals in the country and take care of. Great. Let's bus these up to Washington, D.C. and drop them off in front of the Naval Observatory where the vice president lives.
Yep, I'm sure they'll be very productive there.
She didn't like that at all.
Oh,
The news didn't like that. Well, it's only 10 degrees up here. It's cold. It's
get them
cold
some
throughout the whole
jackets.
damn country right now. No matter where you go, it's cold. Even
Hmm.
Florida's got 10-degree weather.
Mm.
At that, we did during that time.
Okay, I'm gonna call. Don't do that. Shh, 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 shh.
So no, you you guys, this administration and the Democrats, you don't like what's happening with these governors and mayors are doing because it's holding you accountable for your words. You said we welcome them, great. Then they shipped them to you. We
Mhm.
shipped them to your cities that said they welcomed them. Guess what? You opened your mouths. Now it's time to accept the consequences of what you said you wanted. It was fine and dandy as long as it was everybody else having to deal with them. But as soon as it became your job to deal with them, all of a sudden you don't like it.
And if they truly want to deal with this issue, they would come to the table and they would work with us on immigration reform, true comprehensive immigration reform. And
Once again, immigration reform has absolutely nothing to do with border security. It's two separate issues. We tried your way back when President Reagan. We tried it your way once. And President Reagan signed the amnesty bill that was based upon the promises by the Democrats that we would put up security at the southern border. And the Democrats reneged on their end of the deal. They stopped the funding. But it was too late because the amnesty had already been signed. That is one of Reagan's biggest mistakes is he trusted the Democrats. The one time he did not live up to his trust but verify philosophy. He never should have signed that amnesty until after the border security was in place. And if there were to be another amnesty, if you want your immigration reform, before you get that, we need to have the border security in place and the funding for it to maintain it. And if I was Chip Roy, if I was Kevin McCarthy, if I was any politician, Abbott, DeSantis, any politician who cares about this issue, that would be my constant statement. Every time I got up before a microphone, I would be saying, if the Democrats want immigration reform, first we get border security. Without border security, you will not get immigration reform. And no, they will not be tied to the same bill. They will be separate bills, and the border security will be passed and funded and signed into law first. Before we even look at immigration reform. And I'd even say it'd have to be 2 years. We'll discuss immigration reform in 2 years after we get the border secured. I don't think that's asking for a whole hell of a lot. And that's put the onus back on the Democrats to actually live up to their promises. They want that done. Let's do it. Let's do it correctly. Let's get the damn border secured first. And then let's go ahead and start deporting illegals. We got all this money we can send to Ukraine. Claw that money back. Claw that money back. Bring it back. Claw back that money we sent to Yugoslavia for their border security. Claw back all this money we've sent overseas. And yes, if we have to, claw back the money we send to Israel. And I am a huge supporter of the money we send to Israel for them to protect their borders with for their own self-defense. But let's get our border secured. Let's get our border secured today. And then we can start talking about immigration reform. We cannot continue accepting in over 1 million people every few months into our borders illegally. We can't continue accepting that. That is overwhelming our country with illegals. It is an invasion. And these aren't just Mexicans or Central Americans or South Americans coming in. We got people from across the world coming in through our southern borders. And they all need to be stopped. It needs to be stopped. And Mexico, I'm sorry. You guys down there have been allowing these caravans to cross your borders and cross your country to set and because they're heading to the United States. So we'll let them go. You haven't been no friend of ours in this. You haven't been an ally in stopping illegal immigration, or else you would have stopped them at your border. No, Mexico hasn't been a fan of ours on this. They haven't been a friend. They haven't been an ally. So as far as I'm concerned, Mexico would take a flying leap out of rolling donut in the gravel pit. Oops. We listened to Biden's liar in chief. Now here's the actual liar. Okay, Biden.
Reform used to be a bipartisan issue.
No, it's never been a bipartisan issue. Not since Reagan, when you guys lied to Reagan. And you lied to the American people.
Immigration reform used to be a bipartisan issue. We can make it that way again.
How can we make it that way again when the Democratic Party has lied so many times about immigration and said you're all about securing the border and you're not?
It's not only the right thing to do, It's economically a smart thing to do. That's why immigration reform is supported by everyone. Think of
How is it economically feasible for us to allow all these illegals into the country there when most of them don't have the skills to do anything beyond manual labor? And all that's doing is putting them, U.S. citizens out of work.
this now. Want to remind the public immigration reform is supported by the American labor movement, union.
Oh, of course they are, unions. Of course the unions are want illegals to come in. Why? Because the American people are tired of unions and aren't joining them. So they're getting the illegals to come in and join the unions. The unions are making money off of illegals. Hey, CK, how you doing today? And thank you for the prayers, man. I need them.
Unions. It's supported by religious leaders. It's
There are religious leaders, mostly on the left, very actively, politically active religious leaders who feel that the country should be accepting anybody and everybody come across the borders, that there should be no immigration whatsoever, no immigration laws. Everybody and the brother come in. Yes, there are some out there like that. But remember, we're supposed to be a secular country there, Joe. We're not supposed to be run by the religious leadership. Remember that? We're supposed to be a secular country. Why is it the Democrats are always willing to bring in religion and religious leaders when it suits them? But as soon as a religious leader is saying something, quotations from their religious books, that does not suit the Democrats, then it's, oh no, we can't be having that. That, we're not a theocracy. But they got no problem right now, President of the United States, saying that we should be listening to religious leaders because religious leaders agree with him.
supported by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce.
U.S. Chamber of Commerce, again, they're more worried about the bottom dollar. The bottom line, dollars. How many dollars can they get brought into them? They're not worried about security of the United States. They're not worried about our border security. They're worried about how much money can they put into their pockets.
We can secure our border, fix the immigration system to be orderly, fair, safe, and humane.
All right. First of all, let's see you secure the border first. Okay? Secure the border first. Second of all, immigration doesn't have to be what did he call it? Let me back that up so I don't.
Fix the immigration system to be orderly, fair, safe, and humane.
Orderly, fair, safe, and humane. Absolutely none of those are reasons to reform immigration. None of them. We don't have to be fair in who we allow into our country. Being fair has absolutely nothing to do with our country and who we allow into it. We don't have to be fair. We should only be accepting people into our country, allowing immigration into our country of people who are going to improve our country, who are going to improve our standing. Exactly. Neil, you're exactly right. He's still talking as if they have a right to come to our country in the first place. No, they don't have a right to come into our country. Nobody has the right to come in our country, no more than anybody has the right to enter your home. Nobody has the right. Therefore, it doesn't have to be fair. I don't have to be fair in who I allow to enter my home or on my property. We don't have to be fair into who we allow into our country. Yeah, if he calls her President Harris one more time,
We can do all this while keeping lit the torch of liberty that has led generations of immigrations to America. Many of our forebears, many of yours.
yeah, man,
We can do this by remembering
yeah, they came in under the immigration laws as they were at that time. They followed the laws as they were at that time. We are no longer a country as we were in the 17 and early 1800s, where there were, uh, you know, so undeveloped lands for people just to go out and lay claim to. There is no such thing as just being able to walk out, throw down stakes, and say, "This is my property. I now own it." That doesn't exist now like it used to. That does not exist anymore.
who we are. You've heard me say this a million times. We're the United States of America.
You don't act like we're the United States of America. You act like we are like we are the federal government. Uh, we're just America, ran by a federal government. You don't act as if the states have got any rights in and of themselves. You sure as hell don't act that way, Joe.
The idea this is beyond our capacity, I just don't buy. We can do anything and we do it together. And you've heard me say it also many times. God bless you all. May God protect our troops. I'm going to stop here, and in a few minutes, literally a few minutes, Secretary Mayorkas and I have been coordinating.
Look at that smirk on her face back there. Look at that face that smirk she's got on her face. Let's see, today is the 10th, right? So we have got 11 more days that Joe is president. And then we'll start looking at Joe where he's going to be getting uh in 11 days they'll start looking at having him removed under the 25th. I I don't look at Joe being in office at the end of this year. It's not going to happen. He's not going to be in office by the end of the year. We'll be looking at this woman. Now, I've got a question. How many people knew that Joe Biden owned property in the Virgin Islands?
Not me.
Now, we all, and let's see here, uh, pull this screen back up.
God, y'all, the chat.
Joe Biden traveled to the U.S. Virgin Islands on Tuesday to bring in the new year with other family members. All right.
So he's not at a resort, he's at his own property. Huh.
Biden and First Lady Jill landed in St. Croix, where Biden's brother owns property on Water Island. The Bidens have celebrated New York there before, but it's first since becoming president. So Biden's brother owns property in St. Croix. Interesting. Remember, the Bidens, they were, as a family, absolutely broke at the end of Obama's term. Related video: Biden thanks billionaire donor friends after the St. Croix stay. Now, interesting thing happened while Biden was down in St. Croix. Interesting thing. We know that Biden has no problem interfering in telling other countries that they have to fire attorney generals. After all, he did it to the Ukraine, right? Well, the Virgin Islands had an attorney general. Virgin Islands Attorney General sues J.P. Morgan Chase over banking services for Jeffrey Epstein. The U.S. Virgin Islands government filed a lawsuit. This was back December 29th. Filed lawsuit Tuesday against J.P. Morgan Chase, alleging the Wall Street Bank benefited financially from Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking operation and failed its duty to report suspicious financial activity. Over more than a decade, J.P. Morgan clearly knew it was not complying with federal regulations in regard to the Epstein-related accounts, as evidenced by its too little, too late efforts after Epstein was arrested on federal sex trafficking charges, and shortly after his death when J.P. Morgan belatedly complied with federal law, states the complaint filed by U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General Denise George. All right. U.S. Virgin Islands Attorney General Denise George. Human trafficking was the principal business of the accounts of Epstein, of the accounts Epstein maintained at J.P. Morgan. All right. That doesn't look too good for J.P. Morgan. And it's clearly a shock that the Virgin Islands is actually the one filing the charges against J.P. Morgan. All right. So January 29th, the Attorney General of Virgin Islands files a lawsuit. January 4th, U.S. Virgin Islands fires Attorney General in Epstein cases. The governor of the U.S. Virgin Islands has fired Attorney General of the U.S. territory who pursued various cases against disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, including a lengthy legal fight that resulted in a $105 million settlement. The removal of Denise George comes days after she filed a lawsuit against J.P. Morgan Chase in New York and accused the company of helping Epstein finance the illegal exploitation of women and children in the U.S. Virgin Islands and beyond. Interesting. Biden is in the Virgin Islands. The Attorney General of the Virgin Islands files the lawsuit against Epstein. 5 days later, the Attorney General is fired. And then Biden leaves the Virgin Islands and comes back to the States. Now he's already learned his lesson over bragging about having attorney generals fired. Because that video of him bragging about it is now really well known, bragging about getting the attorney general of Ukraine fired. Now, J.P. Morgan, they huge Democratic donors. You think maybe J.P. Morgan might have called Biden? Morning, Scribe. Welcome. But do you think maybe the J.P. Morgan people called Biden's people and Biden got a hold of the governor of the Virgin Islands and said, hey, we don't need to be having more of these lawsuits. We don't need to have Epstein's name coming out because, well, there's too many politicians from both parties, too many actors and actresses involved with Epstein here. So far we've been able to keep all their names off out of the public view, but we, can't risk having this happen. So, yeah, I see issues, possibility of issues here that that could be happening. And like I said, if it's just coincidental, I think that all of a sudden this happens. I mean, what's the odds? What's the odds of this not being involved, of Biden not being involved in this?
I am a very healthy woman and have no suicidal tendencies, and
uh,
I do not own any weapons. And I have children that need me, that I adore, and I do not want to be separated from at any cost. So I'm just going to say pretty fucking high.
Scribe, no pressure, but if you'd like to join, I sent you a link. But I can understand if you're just listening because you're probably at work. Yeah. Now I'm going to, boy, an hour and 13 minutes. That's been a fast hour and 13 minutes. It has flown by
Oh,
for me
yeah.
here. No, I don't believe in coincidences like this either. I really don't. And yet, he may have had a habit going down there to visit, as a family down to St. Croix. But it's just, I just don't believe in the coincidence that Attorney General is getting fired in this case. I just don't believe that's coincident. So, and speaking of Epstein and Epstein style abuses, New York City school principal, it's not appears, he actually does defend having a gay sex book in library for middle schoolers. Principal says school has no plans to remove the graphic book. And what book are we talking about? This book is gay.
I
New
haven't
York
seen that
City
one
school
yet.
principal is defending sexually explicit novel remaining in the middle school library.
Middle school. That's like 11 to like 15. Oh,
Yes.
16. Yeah,
No, not 16, but 10, 11, and 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds.
it depends on the school. Like ours was like 13 to 15 or 16. Yeah. Holy shit. Explore. No, school is not the place to explore new sexual ideas. No.
This book is gay discusses orgies, kinks, and sex apps. It includes detailed information on how to have anal and girl on girl sex.
This is fucking
A
unreal.
passage of the book reads, "Let's talk about dildos." I think a lot of people assume that there is no penis. A desperate sexual void is created out of which something bleep shaped must be ultimately slot in order to satisfy. I've only slept with two other women who enjoyed using dildos. I hate wearing strap ons. I've only done it once and never again.
Well, that person was wearing the wrong strap on first. I mean, so I've heard. You know what? I'm gonna shut up. It just lets you go. Yeah, this is where I mute.
These these people reading this at school board meetings have been kicked out
Yeah, they only want children to read it. They don't want grown-ups to read it.
because the passages are too obscene for public discourse.
See, I wouldn't read it. I would just pass out like photocopies of the pages to everyone in the fucking room. Just a big old box of that page, just over and over again. But
But they want it to be in the hands of middle schoolers.
yes, they really want it to be in the hands of middle schoolers.
They actually want it to be in the hands of elementary schoolers.
Oh, you know it. That was actually the next thing I was gonna say. But yeah, I'm so glad my kids are not in school anymore.
Well,
Yeah, this is why people homeschool. This right here.
and my son and his wife are talking about homeschooling their child.
It's getting more widespread now. They're like whole communities doing this shit now,
Yeah.
and the parents take turns teaching and their subject and everything. Yeah, even that lawyer Nick Ricada is involved in a group that's doing homeschool, and his kids are homeschooled, and he teaches not a proper subject. He teaches the Constitution, which really needs to be taught. Oh my goodness, you scared me.
Sorry. After your haircut, then ink cartridge?
Yes, baby.
This is just so stupidly obscene
I said yes. Yeah, it really is. It's horrible. I'm just
that
not surprised anymore.
I
Uh-oh.
just saw the photo you sent.
Hey, Wiki. What? Oh, yeah. I accidentally sent it twice, though.
I hope you sent that to Dar.
I sent it. He'll see it when he gets on. I sent it to our chat. That was it. He'll know it's for him. God, I read this shit and I just hate people so much.
But yeah, uh, this is absolutely disgusting. And then to have the middle school principal confirms in an email that the school offers a pornographic book. This book is gay and has no plans on removing it. The book teaches kids about gay sex and encourages the use of apps or giving 12-year-old kids the book. All right.
Er,
Okay. As a parent, you have every right to monitor what your child is reading. Parents have different opinions on what is appropriate for their children. Tell your children you want to read certain books first to see if they're in keeping with family values. That is a letter from the principal of the school to a parent.
See, here's the thing, though. They can take that book out and not bring it home. They can put it in their desk. They can read it during lunch. They can read it after lunch when they have those little silent reading sessions after lunch. They can, yeah.
They can just hide it in their backpack.
Well, I mean that
How many
they don't have
parents
to bring it
actually?
home.
How many parents actually go through their child's
I did.
backpack every day?
I did.
Oh, did you?
I had to. Yeah, my kids are fucking crazy, yo. My
Well,
daughter would come home with the classroom pet if I didn't check. Jeez.
I didn't check. Hey, Wiki. Good morning.
Oh, hi, Wiki.
The reason we learn. No, I haven't
Oh,
heard
I
of
love
that
her.
one.
Yeah, she has a lot of
Okay.
really great guests on her show. Deb Philman, yeah.
However, the principal went on to suggest a parent is sheltering their child from new and different ideas by objecting to the book. Here's a quote from the letter. When you say you are at war every day, I'm wondering if you are referring to the exposure your child is getting to people and ideas that are new and different. This is a public school, and the children will be continuously exposed. It doesn't mean they will have to agree with everything they are learning and seeing. In fact, they'll be taught to be questioned, analyze, and expand their horizons. I wonder, will they be bringing in conservatives? Will they be bringing in people on the other side of the aisle who believe
Oh no,
differently from these
no,
new ideas?
because those aren't new ideas. Conservatism is classic old America. They're not going to bring in old ideas. They want new ideas. You know. Plus, you can't jack off to a conservative, theory and teaching and everything. So,
Right here is a good question. Courtney Giles for Congress. I'd like to know if they have a Bible in the school library.
that's when they whip out church and state. That's when they whip all those religious, regulations out.
This book is gay is one of several books with graphic, sexually explicit content found in public schools, prompting outrage from parents. Last fall, parents demanded a school district respond after a California teacher is found to be boasting of her queer classroom library, which showed books detailing BDSM fetishes and a kink social media network site.
I keep trying to scroll up and down because I got this full screen and I keep trying to scroll up and down your page. Yeah, this
Oh,
is just
you
fucking
want the
awful.
link to that article?
Yeah, I'd like it. Oh, God damn it. This is fucking, you know, pretty fucking twisted, Wiki. Yeah,
Hey,
Wiki. Yeah, there's gonna be, yeah, it's fucking horrible. I can't. Just feel. I mean, I know what's happening, but it's so fucking insane that I'm laughing because it doesn't really feel real.
this kind of stuff,
It
and
really doesn't.
this when I was a kid, if our school librarian had been caught with a book like this,
You would have gotten. She'd been in jail if she didn't get shot in the
they
parking lot.
well, our school librarian was a male. He would have
Well,
gotten his
you know what I
ass
mean.
whipped. He would.
Oh
The
yeah, somebody's
parents
parent
would
would
have
have come
met
in.
him in the parking lot and beat his ass. There not been. It's that simple. He wouldn't have been killed, but he would have had one hell of an ass whipping if if he had that book in his library and refused to take it out. And the principal and the vice principal would have been next on the list. You know, there is no way that stuff should have ever
Never have been on
been
school grounds.
in our schools. Okay. Okay. We're getting away from sex in schools for a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay. Getting away from that. Uh, do I want? Let's talk about colleges. Okay,
Oh God.
Virginia
Okay.
Tech, Virginia Tech in particular.
Oh.
I believe it's Virginia Tech. Yep, Virginia Tech. Ex Virginia Tech soccer player allegedly, I love how they bench for refusing to kneel gets a $100,000 settlement. A former Virginia Tech women's soccer player who accused her coach of benching her because of her political opinions will reportedly receive at least $100,000 as part of an agreement to dismiss a federal lawsuit. Kirsten Hennig will receive a reward as part of a settlement in the lawsuit she filed in 2021 against head coach Charles Chugger Adair
Hmm?
on First Amendment grounds. Noted the terms of the settlement did not include any admission of wrongdoing by either a client or Adair.
Of
There are
course
no
not.
details of the settlement, of course, but the agreement had to be approved by the university and state officials. All right. Hennig, who was a midfielder defender for the Hokies from 2018 to 2020, sued Adair in his personal and official capacity as a coach, alleging he punished her for political views which differed from her teammates during the
Oh.
height of the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020. Hennig claims she was removed from her starting position and pressured to leave the team after she declined to kneel during a reading of a unity statement before a game against UVA on September 12, 2020. She said Adair verbally attacked her at halftime, claiming she was bitching and moaning while putting his finger in her face.
You know, in a lot of that's actually against a lot of religions to just randomly kneel. You're only supposed to kneel for your God.
Right.
That's I pretty sure it's in the Bible, but I not that good on the Bible, but I know it's definitely a law in Islam. So you know, kneel before Todd, kneel before Zod.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm thinking that supernatural episode. Kneel before Todd.
Hennig explained in the lawsuit that while she supports social justice and believes that Black Lives Matter, everybody's life matters to somebody. She does not support the BLM organization, citing its tactics and core tenets of its mission statement, including defunding the police. Adair continued to berate Hennig until he benched her and ultimately made things so intolerable she felt she had no choice but to quit the team. Okay. December 2nd, the judge refused to dismiss the lawsuit, noting that Hennig's time on the field dropped off following the kneeling incident. Adair argued that two other players who declined to kneel did not face reduced playing time. Ultimately, Adair may convince the jury that this coaching decision was based solely on Hennig's poor play during the UVA game, but the court reviewing the evidence in light most favorable to Hennig cannot reach that conclusion. Now, Hennig was you know, if I'm sitting there and I'm being yelled at by my coach and I'm being screamed at and called every name in the book, yeah, that may throw my play off a little bit. That's a little understandable. You're not going to be playing at the top of the game when you got the coach yelling at you because you refuse to kneel. I said this during the Black Lives Matter and all this kneeling crap to start with.
Hmm.
All right. Yes, players, I don't care who you play for. You have the right to your own beliefs. You have the right to support Black Lives Matter. You have the right to be a communist. You have the right to be a Christian, Buddhist, monk, Muslim, atheist, agnostic, whatever. What you believe is what you believe, and that's your right. However, however, you have an own a sporting team is your job. I'm professional sports here. A team has a team owner.
Mhm.
All right. Once you put on that uniform, you're now at work.
Mhm.
When I walk in the door of the hotel that I work at, I am now at work. And my boss, my the owner of the business dictates my actions while I'm on that job site. While they are paying me, they dictate my actions. When all these professional sports started allowing the teams to kneel, take the kneel during the during the national anthem. If half the owners would have stood up to them then and said, if you guys kneel, we forfeit the game and you don't get paid. You stand there politely at the national anthem, showing respect for the country, respect for the national anthem. But if you take a kneel, you're benched and you don't get paid. Go, but might as well head back to the locker room and change clothes, get in your fancy car and go home. If the owners and the coaches would have enforced that back when that crap first started, we would not have it now where the players think that they run the teams. And whatever social issue they feel is important is going to get broad play. All right, what's going on here? Exactly, Neil. You're exactly right. I can't go into work and I mean when I got to go out and buy I've got to go out and buy new shirts here for my job. And even though my hours are being drastically reduced that I'm allowed that they want me to work, when I go out to buy new shirts, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the choices that I like, take a picture of them, send them to my owner or to my boss and say, "All right, which shirts do you want me to buy? Which ones do you approve of me wearing at work?" It makes it life so much easier to do it that way because I don't have to worry about getting sent home then because I'm dressed inappropriately. Because we have had people sent home for being dressed inappropriately. My boss don't play. And these sporting teams should have, and colleges, same thing. Colleges, why do you allow to happen what's happening on your college campuses? Why are you allowing the students to think they run the college?
Have you seen the curriculum lately? I mean, that's just hand
Unfor-
in hand.
Unfortunately, I have. That's why I'm saying, why do the colleges allow their students to think they run the college? Remember the that infamous Halloween mix-up, and the
Uh,
girl goes, we're supposed to be able to feel safe here, This is our home. This is our family. No, this isn't your home. We aren't your family. You pay us to educate you. You are here to learn. We're not here to coddle you. You are legally an adult. You're paying us to teach you what we can teach you so you can make more money and have a better life. So you can accomplish your goals. While you're on our campus, this is the rules. I know that's old school. It's not even old school, that's ancient school.
Mhm.
That's not the way things are done anymore. These kids, these these immature people who think that they can come in and tell an organization how the organization is going to act and what they're going to allow. My boss and I just had a conversation like this the other day because I sent an email about I was feeling a little uncomfortable
Uh-oh.
about some of the things going on in my job, and just am I expecting too much of the coworkers? Am I becoming or have I become that old, quotation marks, that old man that I just don't understand how the new generation works. I'm old fashioned, you know, because if I'm the problem, honestly, if I'm the problem, then I need to know that I'm the problem so that I can adjust what I'm doing. I need to know. And I need my boss to tell me point blank, yes, you are the problem. Well, they come down as I was getting ready to get off work to discuss this issue. And they said, no, you're not the problem, except for the fact you are the problem. And the problem is you've got a work ethic that these kids don't. You come into work with the idea that you're here to help us make money so that you can get a paycheck. Today's generation isn't about helping the company make money so they can get a paycheck. They're about how little work can they do to get that paycheck. They don't understand that if the company isn't making money, they're not going to get a paycheck for long because that company starts losing money and it goes out of business. Before it goes out of business, people are going to lose jobs. Yeah, I do feel like that dinosaur sometimes. I really do. And I, I, I see people come in. You come in the door looking for to get a green badger. You come walking in the door at work, and you find the previous shift. They're all standing around talking on their cell phones. They're not doing their job. So anyway, that's enough about that. Christy Nome. How many people know who Christy Nome is? Because I've heard the name before and didn't really pay, you know. Christy Nome demands answers that the U.S. government leaks Social Security numbers of her and her family. The Democrats, South Dakota Governor Christy Nome is demanding answers on how federal agencies allowed her personal information to become public in the aftermath of the record releases of the January 6th committee, and as well as how those agencies plan to combat the potential results of this leak. My lawyers have asked the at White House, the at National Archives, Bernie Thompson, as which of them is responsible for leaking Social Security numbers of me, my husband, my three kids, and my son in law. What specific measures and remedies will be taken to protect our identities? Now, that's pretty specific that her family, her husband, her children, and her son in law, for some reason, the January 6th committee had their Social Security numbers and released them to the public. Have I lost my internet? Nope, my internet's not lost.
I lost mine for a second. Something's going on.
Yeah, because well, okay, I've definitely got a problem with mine, it looks like.
Who do you have?
Nope, mine's back now. I'm with Xfinity, unfortunately.
I got AT&T.
But
Oh, I gotta call them later too.
okay, that's back now.
Yeah, it's so odd.
Okay, who got doxxed there, Wiki? Or is that what you're saying about Governor Nome and her family? The night before taking the oath of office for her second term, Nome learned that her Social Security number and those of her immediate family were leaked by the January 6th committee. That's a crime. That is a crime. Among the hundreds of records posted online by the committee laying out the timeline for events leading up to the storming of the Capitol was a spreadsheet of nearly 2,000 Social Security numbers associated with visitors to the White House.
Oh shit.
2,000 people had their Social Security numbers posted online.
Mm.
If it's just one person, I'm trying to remember who it was that said this. If it's just one person, it's a crime and a shame. If it's 1,000 people, it's just a statistic. You know, there is nobody going to be held responsible for 2,000 people having their Social Security numbers released to the public. And if it wasn't for the fact that this woman was governor, we wouldn't be hearing about this of happening. The National Archives produced these visitor logs, which then became exhibits during the January 6th committee hearing. Prior to being published, the law required the protected personal information be redacted, but that was not done. The White House, Government Publishing Office, National Archives, and Representative Bernie G. Thompson, the Democratic chair of the January 6th committee, did not respond to Fox News' request for a comment on the leak. It's not just Nome's family, But every one of them 2,000 people are now at a very high risk of identity theft and being personally compromised due to the failure to redact Social Security numbers and making the same available to the public. The letter also argues that publishing the information is a violation of the Privacy Act 1974. It is definitely a violation of the Act of 1974. Other high-profile individuals in the leak are Texas Governor Greg Abbott, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster, the former Health and Human Services Alex Azar, and Ben Carson. Now, I have no idea who Alex Azar was. But it sounds like a lot of, the January 6th committee had no problem leaking some Republicans' Social Security numbers. A lot, there needs to be repercussions for that. I don't know, Neil. I don't know. And I'm going to say probably yes. I mean, the chance of all 2,000 people being only Republicans having their name on there, having their Social Security numbers there released, if that were the case, if all 2,000 with I would say less than 20 Democrats, but the vast majority of that 2,000 people, call it even 1,500 of the 2,000, were all Republicans, then that would definitely be looking at somebody intentionally doing that to harm partisan on base, cause harm on a partisan basis. And I would hope. I mean, it's bad enough that it happened, and somebody needs to be held accountable for it. But I would hope that nobody would take their partisanship so far as to do that. But there's a lot of things I would hope people wouldn't do that they do in the name of partisanship, in the name of politics. We all know that happens. Raman, were you watching the vote taking for
Uh,
Speaker of the House?
no,
You didn't
I don't
watch
get
it.
involved in that shit.
Did
I'm just a woman, honey.
Did you see the pictures or the video of the guy who got he was going to attack
Oh, the
Gates?
old guy with the bad wig. Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
That's everywhere. That's floating around everywhere.
Okay, you didn't see that then.
I saw that part.
Okay.
It was just a tiny, like 5-second clip. It was beautiful.
Right. Well, that's all it lasted, was a couple 5 seconds. Anyway, that was Mike Rogers from Alabama. And he apologized. And he apologized to Matt Gaetz for that.
Did he
I
really?
regret that I briefly lost my temper on the House floor Friday evening and appreciate
Aw.
Matt's kind understanding.
That's not an apology. I don't know if that's really an apology. It's, I don't know.
Gates told Fox News that he looks forward to working with Rogers, who is set to become chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. You got a guy with a temper like that, and you're putting him in charge of the House Armed Services Committee? Of course, In a late night moment of high drama, people can have moments of frustration, Gates said. He has my forgiveness and certainly is someone who has done great things for our national defense and will continue to do those things. You know, Gates, that's actually a pretty adult thing for Gates to be saying. And, you know, I mean, that tells you what I think of Gates when I'm saying that he's actually acting like an adult here. So, Gates saying, let's see, I don't think there should be any punishment or reprisal just because he had an animated moment. Yeah, that was an animated moment. Why did this? Oh, it opened. Okay, let me stop it here. And in case you didn't see the video, here we go.
Both serve on the Armed Services Committee. What was that all about? And are you guys going to be able to work together on armed services?
Well, Mike Rogers is going to be a terrific chairman of the Armed Services Committee.
All right. Let's see here. My favorite part, everybody's favorite part of this, right there.
He
Can you
just
see the
covered the
hand
old
coming
guy's
up around
face.
the
Yeah.
around the guy's face?
Yeah, it's all over his face.
That was just absolutely that that wasn't grabbing him by the arms and pulling him back or putting your hands on
No.
his shoulder. That he wrapped his hand around his face to yank
All
him
we
back.
needed was for that guy to lick him just to complete it. That would have just been the funniest shit.
Or if Rogers had bitten him, get your hands out of my mouth, you dirty
Ugh.
animal!
Yeah. Hey, Green Badger.
Like the Cleveland Browns Brown players. Damn it, why can't I remember his first name now? His last name was Brown. He got questioned about biting the fingers of an opposing player. I want to say it was Pittsburgh Steelers player. And Brown just looked at him and said, anything on my side, anything on his side of the face of the mask is his. Anything on the inside is mine. So I ate it. He didn't actually eat his fingers, but he sure clamped
Bit
down
the fuck
hard
out
on
of him,
him.
huh? Yeah.
You know,
Oh.
definite proof that he was being face masked. Like, chewing on the guy's fingers and won't let go until the ref makes him.
Well, it's like the
But yeah,
restaurant says, gotta eat.
this that was the highlight of the evening.
Yeah.
Watching
Yeah.
that was the absolute highlight of the evening.
They just need to go to old fashioned dueling. You know, give each of these bastards a gun and put them somewhere and let them work it out. Or maybe a steel cage match. You know.
But let's see here. Of course, the confrontation took place shortly after the 14th vote for the House Speaker failed, with Gates being one of a handful of Republican lawmakers who were holding Kevin McCarthy back from securing the gavel. But Representative Richard Hudson, Republican of North Carolina, is the one that grabbed a hold of Rogers and yanked him back. But yeah, that was. I was watching it happen. Yeah, have a Snickers.
Mm.
Actually, I've got what do I have in my? I've got my mint M&Ms in the freezer. I think I'll have a handful of those this afternoon.
Damn it! Now you got me wanting candy. I was so good this last week. I didn't have any candy.
Uh, I made apple turnovers this
Ooh.
weekend. Had some apples that were getting a little bit old. They hadn't gone bad yet, but they've been in the house for about 2 weeks.
Oh no.
So I went ahead and sliced them up, made apple turnovers, and
Oh man.
served them up with caramel ice cream.
Okay, you lost me at the caramel.
Oh, you don't like caramel ice cream?
I don't like caramel.
Oh,
I know. I'm inhuman. I know.
you poor thing. Your taste buds aren't don't work right.
That and toffee. I liked toffee as a kid, but I ate too many Skull bars, like 2 Skull bars, and it made me so sick. No, no more toffee, no more caramel, none of that.
Oh, the you want to hear about the first and last time I ever ate a Twinkie?
Ew. Tell me.
Senior year of high school. Had never had a Twinkie before in my life.
Ugh, they're overrated.
Uh, okay. And I got asked as a fundraiser to participate
Is it
in
a
a
twin?
Twinkie eating contest.
God damn, that's not how you experience something new. Anyway.
All right. I ate 50 Twinkies.
Oh my god, why?
Won the contest,
No way.
and
That's
I have
fucking
not
awful.
touched a Twinkie since. I
Yeah.
was 18 years old. I'm now 63, and I have not touched a Twinkie since that day.
They're not even good. You know what's actually better than a Twinkie? The Little
What?
Debbie cloud cakes.
Never tried
They
one.
have a they have a dupe. They're actually really good and they're soft and they taste like they're fresh even though they aren't and they're yummy.
Badger, I would take a cane fight if I was allowed to use my cane. All right. My cane is let's see here. I think I might have shown my cane before.
It's a beautiful
Let me open
cane.
this up. Open that. Close that tab, keep that tab open. Okay, and here we go. Take that, come over here, share screen, share window, share this. There are the components to my cane. And those are metal.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. What is that made of? Damn. That wow. That's beautiful.
Okay. Now I have taken out the blades.
Because that would be illegal. That's yeah.
Well, no, it's not illegal. I just took them out because when I fly, then they would be
They're,
illegal when I
yeah.
fly.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
So
But wouldn't
they
they
just
also be considered concealed weapons if you ever stopped?
I've got a concealed weapons license, so I wouldn't worry
Oh,
about it.
okay. Shut me up then. Okay.
All right. I use this T handle here. Let's see if I can. Yep. And what I've done, they've got a flashlight attachment that
Oh,
actually.
that's fucking
So I've
cool.
taken off one end of this. These actually come off both ends. I've taken one end off, and I've got the flashlight attachment on the up there. And now this ferro rod here for using it as a fire starter is new. And I can't, and I wanted to order that, but they won't let me order it. Just that I have to order the whole cane. I don't need a second cane. So I don't need to spend another $150. But I will tell anybody who needs a cane and you don't trust that $20 Walmart cane because of your weight or whatever, I highly recommend this company. These things here, these blades just screw in and out. So you can, I mean, you don't have to cut them off or anything. You can still use that spacer. And what I've done is these tubes are kind of hollow. So I've got the flashlight also works as a charging station for cell phones. So I've
Oh
got my cell
wow.
phone, I've got my USB cables inside of one of these segments.
Damn.
So if I need to charge my cell phone, I just take apart my cane, pull out the USB cable, and charge up my cell phone. How's that for a winter chicken dinner?
Woohoo.
But yeah, if you need a cane and you're a little bit on the heavier side and you don't trust the Walmart $20 cane, I highly recommend the Unbreakable Company. I really do.
So where'd you get it from? I mean, if that's their own site, that's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's their own site. I order straight from them. And
Okay.
if you're retired military, if you call them up, they'll give you a $20 a 20% discount coupon.
Damn.
So that's $25 off the price of the cane. So I'll save $25 if I can.
That's nice.
Yep. So, but anyway, I highly recommend them. Yeah,
Wow.
you're right, Badger. It wouldn't be hard to get a ferro rod and epoxy at the end of there. But I mean, they've already. But I really figured that they would, for $20, send me the ferro rod that they've already got set up to go into that piece. But no, they won't do it. So, and yeah, I do believe in having stuff available for survival purposes, but I'm not going to be that big of a nut over it that I'm going to spend $150 on a new cane. All right. Well, it is after 11 o'clock. Boy, today has gone by quick. This has been a fast 2 hours.
It really has.
Oh, Thin Mints, yes.
I was
I
just addressing that actually.
I
But Oreo,
love I
yeah,
love Thin
mints.
Mints. You take and freeze them.
Mhm.
Oh my God! And then if you or chop them up and drop them into your coffee cup.
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh, I or drop them into your hot chocolate.
Mm,
The
no,
Thin Mint chopped up real fine, and then drop it
no,
into your hot chocolate.
no, I want hot
Yes,
chocolate. But the thin mint Oreos are really good. They're really. I've heard people have told me they're similar.
I I can't buy them.
I want
Okay,
to ask why, but it's gonna make me sad.
yeah, because I will sit down with a half-gallon milk and eat the whole package
Oh,
in one sitting.
that is
I
sad.
can control myself around sweets 99.9% of the time.
Yeah,
My bag of mint M&Ms that's in the freezer.
yeah,
I've been eating on that same family size bag now for 6 months.
that is fucking great.
All right. I reach in, I grab a half a dozen or so, and that's all I need.
See, I don't have I'll stop eating candy, but Like if it's something little like M&Ms and it's my favorite flavor. Oh my god! You know what? They don't make anymore, and I know it was just for a trial. It was the chili ones. They had chili in the M&Ms. It was so good.
Chili.
Chili powder. You know, like chili, like not
Yeah,
not chili with beans and meat, but they had chili ones.
I never saw those. I would have
It
bought
was
them just to try them out.
they were good, and it was just for a brief time. And I had one bag, and the Walmart kept running out, and then I never got them again.
But
They
for
were
some reason, though, the thin mint cookies,
yeah,
I can't eat just one.
they are really fucking good, man.
Once they're frozen, I can't eat just one.
You know
I,
what I
I
did like, and it
I'll
was a
sit there and
funny
eat the whole
texture.
bag.
They had carrot cake Oreos. They were really good, but they were like really hard, and the texture was a little weird. But they were not the cream texture, the cookie texture. But yeah, the carrot cake Oreos were really good too.
Carrot cake Oreos. Oh
They were
man, that
so
sounds
fun.
that
Yeah,
sounds.
yeah. I never liked like the red velvet ones or any of those weird flavors, but those carrot cake ones were the fucking best. Second to thin mint. But yeah. Okay, I don't want to turn this into a food
Oh
stream
my
because I start.
God!
What? What?
Don't tell me here.
What?
You can order them off of Amazon.
You can order damn near anything off of Amazon. Ooh, no, I want this.
Carrot cake Oreos from Canada. Mint Cinnabon carrot cake birthday cake
Wait,
mixed.
mint Cinnabon?
Okay, Chrissy's cookie 4 pack. 1 pack is the mint. 1 pack is the cinnamon bun. 1 pack is carrot cake, and 1 pack is birthday cake. Let's see, get that up to where my name isn't showing.
And those are all Oreos? I've never heard of Cinnabon Oreos.
There you go.
Yes. Okay, actually, Green Badger. The grasshoppers do exist, but you have to get the store brand like Publix or Walmart. They're really good still. Okay, I'm expanding this. Cinnabon. I know about the birthday cake. Birthday cake is it's just confetti in the fucking cream.
Right.
I never had the. I'm not interested in the cinnamon bun Oreos. I'm sure they're good, but I mean, if you look at this, they're probably stale now. I mean, if they're not still making them, they're probably hella stale. Philadelphia Candies milk chocolate. No, nope. Don't
Oh
trust
my
it.
God.
Don't trust it. You don't know how stale those Oreos are, man.
What are Oreo red cream chocolate Oreos?
They're mint, I think, aren't they? Or they're just the designs.
It just says the holiday cookie variety pack red cream chocolate sandwich.
No.
Gluten free Oreos. That's gotta be horrible.
It's probably the same fucking thing. Tastes like the cakesters are good. My daughter doesn't like them,
Oh,
so
those pumpkin spice
I
ones
didn't
were
get those.
they were amazing.
I'm so jealous. I didn't even know
If
those
if you
existed.
like if you like pumpkin
You know
uh
I do.
spiced anything,
I'm
all right.
basic white girl when it comes to pumpkin.
My my
I'm
boss
sorry.
calls me, in the fall. Are you turning into our basic white bitch again this year?
Yes. No
Yeah.
shame. Hell
And I
yes.
just start laughing. Yes, I am getting all the pumpkin spice stuff I can get my hands on.
Fuck yeah. I didn't know. You should. Nobody told me those fucking Oreos. This is the first time I'm finding out about pumpkin Oreos. I want to cry.
Oh, those things are amazingly good.
You suck.
Mm-mm-mm.
I would have ordered those, man.
Our Walmart carried them, and I bought the crap out of them.
And as many Oreos as I get for the kids, they didn't even pop up for me. That fucking sucks. Even Walmart kept them a secret from me.
Mm. Well, I tell you what was kept a secret. What our local Walmart kept a secret from me.
Little Debbie ice cream.
No, no, they had Little Debbie ice cream everywhere, but Little Debbie Nutty bars, right?
Oh, those are so
Nutty
good.
Buddies.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the reason I don't buy them.
Well, they came out with another version of them,
What?
and I found out about it online. I went to Walmart. I went and I talked to them, and
What?
they said they did not order any. And I about
What was
cried.
it?
Huh? It was like a birthday cake,
Oh, okay.
ice cream, Nutty
Birthday cake.
Buddy.
Wait,
Yes,
wait, wait.
yes, it was a frozen Nutty Buddy,
Oh, okay, okay.
frozen Nutty Buddy bars
Uh-huh.
done up with the
Birthday cake ice cream.
birthday cake frosting.
Frosting. Okay. But okay, the inside was still peanut butter though, right? And
Right.
chocolate.
Yes.
So it's a regular nutty butter, nutter, whatever the fuck it is, covered in birthday cake icing. You could do that at home.
That just sounded amazing. And I wanted to try it.
And you didn't get to try it.
And I didn't get to try it.
You could do that at home, right? All you got to do
So,
is buy the frosting.
but
Just
that's
saying.
okay.
Oh,
That's all right. I lived. I survived.
I gotta say,
Because
it was
I didn't need the calories and
you didn't need the
everything anyway.
sugar. I know nobody needs that kind of sugar.
Okay. Breaking
What?
news.
What?
Breaking
What?
news. All right. The Supreme Court has rejected to hear Brunson v. Adams.
Okay, you're gonna have to spell it out for a slow folk, like
All
me,
right.
namely me.
Okay. The Brunson v. Adams was basically a case that would have overturned the 2020 the election.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
big surprise they
And
would
it
reject
would
that.
have, honestly, if it had gone through and the Supreme Court had heard it and decided in their favor, half the Senate, half the people elected to the Senate and House would have been removed from office.
Mm.
So I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. Because the fact that the political turmoil that it would have caused would have been outrageous. All right. Let me Brunson v. In fact, I was just talking to someone else about that this morning. Um, okay, there's that. Come on. Here's a story on. Okay, here's a story from. All right, I just pulled this up, so we will give me a minute here. This is what I get for checking for headlines. All right. Brunson v. Adams, a court case that could shake up the entire U.S. government. All right. Okay, the case of Brunson v. Adams, brought forth by four pro se American citizens of Utah, seeks the removal of an illegitimate President Biden and Harris, as well as 291 representatives and 94 U.S. senators who voted to certify the Electoral College without investigating allegations of election fraud and foreign interference. All right. And yeah. And the Supreme Court could not get four justices to move the case forward.
Oh my god.
But I mean, when it was the fact that it made it to the Supreme Court was amazing.
Yeah.
Especially but when you're talking about removing 94 senators and 291 U.S. representatives,
Yeah.
as well as the president and vice president, who's already been in office for 2 years.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell the
So
Supreme Court's going to hear that case.
so much damage already been done.
Right.
You know.
Um, yeah, I was just surprised at that. But anyway, that has just happened. The Supreme Court just refused that.
Oh, of course they did.
So, and I mean, I'm not surprised. Anybody,
Gotta have that job security, you.
well, it's not just the job security. Um, then, of course, Biden has his own classified documents problem that's popped up the past couple of days. 10 documents with classified markings were found in Biden's private office,
Oh my.
including memos involving Iran, Ukraine, and the UK. And these were documents from when he was vice president. Not president, but vice president.
That sounds
And
problematic.
well, yeah, and if we had a,
We know nothing's gonna happen, but
yeah, nothing's going to happen.
you know.
You know, it's, but he stored them at the where the problematic is that they is where they were being stored. They were
Yeah.
being stored in his office at the University of Pennsylvania.
Uh-oh.
Okay, they were in a desk drawer, as I understand it. And the CCP has been funding his office and such of up to $54 million.
Nothing we haven't
The
already
the
guessed at.
Chinese Communist Party.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all the hell that they raised about Trump and Mar-a-Lago, okay, the press is going to have to cover this.
Yep.
But to what extent and what excuses they're going to make is, well, we know how that's going to happen too. Let's not
Yeah.
fool ourselves. We know the press is going to cover it up
Of
as
course. If
best they
they're not
can.
even gonna cover it, forget covering it up.
Well, CNN's. I mean, right now the lead article is from CNN.
Hmm.
So CNN is covering it to a degree. All right. Uh, so much for ending the stream. I'm going to be like some other streamers here. Exclusive U.S. intelligence materials related to Ukraine, Iran, and UK found in Biden's private office. Among the classified documents from Joe Biden's time as vice president discovered were U.S. intelligence memos and briefing materials that cover topics including Total 10 documents with classification markings were found last year in Biden's private academic office. They're dated between 2013 and 2016. The boxes with these classified also contain personal family documents, including materials about Beau Biden's funeral arrangements. Merrick Garland has assigned the U.S. Attorney in Chicago to investigate, and that's it. Oh, see, now this here's where their classified documents found. Oh, under 12 total, 160 plus. Some top secret, 60 top secret. Top secret is top secret. Cooperating, under investigation for obstruction. Lawyers found and alerted, FBI search after ignored subpoena. So, they're doing well, yeah, he had these documents and it was illegal, but look over here at this guy. Look at this shiny thing over here. So, Yeah, they're making the excuses and, well, what about? What about? They're playing the what about game here. All right. There is no what about. If he had top secret, and notice it says some top secret, doesn't say how many, but they're definitely saying how many top secret Trump had. But as somebody who used to have a top secret security clearance and used to be in charge of the security program for my military unit, one document, 100 documents, it makes no difference. You still go to jail. It is still a crime. One document, 100 documents, there's no difference. Shroom don't sing. Yeah,
You
there's that too,
could.
Sean. There's that too. Obama had quite a few documents that he shouldn't have taken.
Okay, Sean, that's a ranting monkey rule. Stop that. The stream isn't over till Shroom sings.
The only thing Shroom does is he growls. And Ramen's always doing her best to make me growl.
Me?
She tries to find some way to make me growl.
Never. I'm a good girl. Everybody tells me I'm a good girl.
You are a good girl.
Hey.
You're a bad woman, but a good girl.
Hey! I'm a kitten.
Anyway.
Oh, I found that image. Hold on. Copy image link. Send it to private. These are the M&Ms that I never got the honey ones. I know it's a big long fucking link, but whatever, man.
All right, you want to present them?
Present what? No, I
Or
put it in the
you?
private chat. It's a link to the image.
Oh,
If you
wow,
want to show.
that is a link.
Yeah, but it does
All
open
right.
in a
Oh,
new.
open link and.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh, they coffee
Yeah,
nut,
baby.
honey
The coffee
nut,
nuts were
and
good.
chili nut.
I didn't have the honey nut.
If I had seen these, I would have bought all three of them.
At the time they came out, I don't think I knew you. This was a few years ago.
Honey nut, coffee nut, and chili nut.
The chili ones weren't that hot. It was just a little warm.
Right.
But they put a little chili in their like hot chocolate and stuff. So yeah.
Oh yeah, chili and chocolate goes
Yeah,
together
it really
really well.
does. Almost as good as mint and chocolate. Yeah. But
So,
yeah, those two on the right were really good. I would have loved to have tried the honey ones, but they weren't around.
oh man, those sound delicious.
They were. I think they still sell the coffee nut, but I'm not sure. But the chili got eliminated. I'm sad. It was supposed to be like a contest between the three of them, which one they were going to add or something. I'm going to call. Don't do this. Out. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have to do this now.
What?
Okay, coffee nut
You're going to look at Amazon.
M&Ms.
Walmart. Walmart probably still has them. You just got to find it.
No, I don't want design. They take me to the design their own.
That's bullshit. I mean, if it's for somebody's birthday, a little kid's birthday or something, I guess.
Coffee nut. M&M's brownie mix, M&M's chocolate espresso.
Please shut
Never
up.
heard of chocolate espresso.
Just put some chocolate in your fucking espresso. It's the same thing. Who cares?
Chocolate baked snacks. Moose Munch premium popcorn with M&Ms.
Okay, I got the popcorn with the Oreos and it was shit. I'm sorry. I know some people loved them and I tried it and it tasted fucking horrible. I mean, it's popcorn and M&Ms. What do you want? Not M&Ms. I'm sorry, Oreos. You found it?
They don't have it.
Oh my god,
So,
no.
but let me try this though.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come back. Come back.
They have them at Walmart. Coffee nut M&Ms, they have them at Walmart.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
let's
Google
see here.
coffee
I've
nut
got the
M&M.
English toffee, M&M dark,
M&M Dark was only okay. It wasn't great.
limited edition strawberry nut.
That would be interesting if it has chocolate in it too. Because I got the strawberry Kit Kats and they had dark chocolate in them and they were really good.
Okay,
Let me see if I
that
can find the chili
believe it or not,
nuts.
they're actually not showing them available on Amazon.
I Googled and the Walmart link was the first result.
That was interesting. That
Oh my god, Walmart still has the chili nut? Oh no, I have to see this. Pickup not available. Check availability nearby.
now, okay, that's enough searching for candy.
Never. I guess they are discontinued.
That's enough searching for candy because I'll gain 10 pounds just looking at them. Hey, I
Aw.
managed to. I'm actually low. My doctor was actually a little bit proud of me.
Really?
Yep. Oh, between Thanksgiving to New Year's, I only gained 8 pounds
Congratulations.
with all the cooking and baking and everything I did. I only gained 8 pounds. He, you
Yay.
know, when you drop 50 some pounds and only regain 8 over the fatty time of the year, I guess I
Yeah.
could say that I call that a win.
I used to laugh at people who diet and gain it back. And my metabolism is not what it used to be.
As you get older, it don't go no. Your metabolism is like that old car. It don't run quite as well anymore.
Yeah, no.
So
I
it's like I found out. My last Saturday, the wife asked me to go shopping with her. So first place we went was Sam's Club. Come back to the house, drop off the stuff we bought at Sam's Club, uh, hit the bathrooms, then head out to Walmart.
mhm,
About about a little bit over halfway through, between halfway to 2/3 of the way through Walmart, I started hurting
um
and started leaning more and more and more on that shopping cart to walk. By the time we got done with Walmart and I got home, it was all right. I'm going to go lay down, leave me alone. Ice packs, heating packs, and pain pills
mm,
all at the same time. Yeah, dancing machine. That's pretty much the rule everywhere. You just can't walk around in public naked unless you're in a nudist camp.
well, that's just racist.
You know, nobody wants to see Wee Willie Winkle and his
Speak for
beach balls at
yourself.
the same time. And out in public.
As long as they aren't sitting on a public bench without a towel, I'm good.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Public exhibitionism doesn't bother you.
I can always turn my head.
That's true. That's true. So anyway, this, yeah, all right. Anyway, everybody, Raman, thank you so much for coming out. You got any words of wisdom before we head down the road?
No, just walk around nude as much as you want and don't let the man keep you down.
And I'm going to say, please, as every time, have a good day. Be with the ones you love the ones that you're with, and have a good day. We'll,
Aw.
we'll be talking to you tomorrow.